I'm a pretty tough cookie. And that one brought me to my knees and made me cry.
Wow.
And my husband said that night, just shut down the magazine. You don't need the headache. We're fine. Let it go. And I couldn't.
Welcome to Green Means Go. I'm your host, Claudio Rivera, and today we have Ann LoGiudice, the owner and publisher of Luxury Home Magazine of the Palm Beaches. They've really created so much dominance within the real estate community, and we're going to be hearing her story today. So welcome to the show, Ann.
Oh, thanks for having me, Claudio. It's great to be here.
So before we get into, the rise of Luxury Home Magazine out of the Palm Beaches, we'd love to hear, what is your background, before you became, a publisher?
Sure. Pretty simple, pretty humble. I was one of Luxury Home Magazine's first advertisers when they opened up in Portland, Oregon in 2002. I was a pretty young agent. I had my first luxury listing, and the owner said, you have to be in the magazine. And I did it on faith. All the other advice he'd given me was great. So I tried it, and it was really helpful to my career, pushing me out of what I called bread and butter business into luxury space. From there, I quickly doubled my volume in sales, doubled my price point, and ultimately became one of the top 3 agents in the Pacific Northwest in sales volume and commissions volume. So selling between $30-40 million a year in real estate in the early 2000s. Average price point being $780,000, which is considered luxury for Portland, Oregon at the time. Very, very powerful. So moving down here, the joke had always been, Brad and Kathy need to come down here and have the magazine down here because this is real luxury. In 2018, I found out that it was franchisable, and I looked into it very seriously. I was concerned if it was still relevant in the digital world. Mm-hmm. I did 6 months worth of research, spoke to many agents that advertise around the country, spoke to other publishers, really studied the market down here, and asked my broker for permission to start the magazine and gave her $14 million worth of listing inventory back. So I was not looking for a new job. I just was really, frankly, tired of working with the customers and really excited about working with the realtors and doing this. So that's how it was started.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So when you came here, obviously it's such a great market to be a part of. A lot of the homes are $10 million to really $100 million. It can be normal out here.
200
in the Palm Beaches, right?
That's crazy.
So and you also had the expertise. You knew how to be a great realtor. When you came to South Florida, why did you get into publishing versus becoming a realtor and joining a brokerage?
I was selling real estate down here. And, the goal was never to do what I had done in Oregon. That came at a big personal cost to me with relationships and family and time away from the family. And I'm very thankful my family was so supportive. But it was the agents that sell a lot of real estate are very, very committed and very focused, and they put a lot of time and energy into it. And I did not want to have that experience again. I wanted to be there for my kids as they went through school and went on to college. And so the goal was never to do that. But I was tired of working nights and weekends, and you get a couple of grumpy clients and they ruin your day a few too many times, and you start taking a look around going, this isn't fun. And lo and behold, I found out it was franchisable right around the same time. So it was just a little divine intervention, I guess. It was wonderful, though.
So when you decided that you wanted to start it,
Uh-huh.
right, there was no presence already here for a luxury home magazine. So how did you get started?
That was a tough hill to climb. I went around and spoke to all the top agents in our market area, asked for a meeting with them, and explained to them what we were doing, showed them magazines from other markets, and many of them had never heard of Luxury Home Magazine. Most of them, I want to say all of them, had never heard of Luxury Home Magazine. So it was definitely an uphill battle. And I must have gotten 1,000 no's before I got my first yes from David W. Roberts at Royal Palm Yacht and Country Club.
Wow.
Yeah. And there were many times I wanted to quit, and my oldest daughter said, you can't quit. Yeah, you've come too far, you can't quit. So, and she was right. I was not going to quit. I'm not a quitter. But we started off with 28 pages. That was our first issue. And I must have had 1,000 no's during that first launch. It took us 4 months to launch our first issue. And we print 6 times a year, so we print every 8 weeks. But our first issue was 28 pages, and this new issue coming out is 124 pages. So I'm pretty happy about that, yeah.
So it's just really a remarkable story, right? You started with nothing but no's, and now it's become highly coveted, where people are competitive to become, featured on a cover, or competitive to maybe get a certain section of the magazine. How did you go from, being completely obscure to realtors and people not knowing the benefits and not knowing your value, to being so, in such high demand, with high demand and really high profile agents?
Well, thank you for that compliment. And I'm very, very appreciative of where we are now, and I'm very, very thankful. We got there a few ways. The most important way is we got there the old-fashioned way. We earned people's business, and we earned the right to retain their business. And that's by delivering over and over and over again, consistently delivering a quality product. We're very, very proud of our distribution and how we go to market, and how the magazine is disseminated. We are what's called an audited publication. There are many, many magazines out there, and periodicals out there, and newspapers, and many of them are not audited. Some of them are, most of them are not. We are audited every issue. Mm-hmm. Most publications that are audited maybe every 1 to 3 years. Mm-hmm. So what does it mean to be audited? Yeah. It means that every issue we are required to show what our quantity is, our print quantity. We show proof of our print. Mm-hmm. We show proof of our U.S. Postal Service mailing receipt to show how many pieces we actually direct mailed. And we also take pictures of our racks and our outdoor boxes for distribution. And we have to show that every issue to the owners of the company. And they do pull licenses if you don't do what you say you're going to do. They've pulled 4 major market licenses. They resold one, but they pulled Miami, Los Angeles, and Las Vegas, because the publishers were not doing what they said they were going to do.
Wow.
Yeah, and they pull it quick.
Your magazine, I've seen it. I mean, it's everywhere. We are real estate photographers, and that's how we got connected through the Russos, and the cover for the next magazine. We're excited about that. But we are real estate photographers. We shoot really the best homes in America, right? And we've seen your magazine on the countertop. So when you're in Palm Beach, you see it everywhere. How did you guys get to be everywhere? It seems like there's a magazine everywhere you look in the luxury market, in the luxury spaces.
Well, thank you.
How did you get that everywhere?
A lot of hard work. It is a lot of hard work. We all participate in distribution, in addition to having a distribution company that physically puts our magazines out on the street, and we maintain our distribution weekly. We have an employee who does nothing but distribution for us as well. And of course, we pay the U.S. Postal Service a lot of money every issue to make sure it's inside everyone's homes. The key in real estate, direct mail is great. You have to make it past the recycling bin. And, that's really where it comes. And you got to have something that's worthy of being on a coffee table or in the house, on the counter in a $10 million, $20 million home. And that's really what we're all about, is creating the best of the best and working with the best of the best like you. By the way, the cover, arguably one of my favorite covers ever out of 5 years. Yeah.
No,
super excited about that.
Wow.
Great job.
You. Yeah. We're excited about that one. That one, it looks great, and excited for the Russos with really just such a trophy listing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So with the world moving to be so digital, right? Content, they say content is king, right? We see it, and we still see the magazines everywhere. How have you kept that dominance in such a digital world?
So that is a great question, and something I want to talk about. Digital marketers would have you believe there's no place for print anymore. And frankly, that's just a fallacy. Targeted print is very, very relevant, especially in this particular target market. We're talking about 60% of our audience is 55 years and older. Our average net worth of our reader is $6.1 million. 78% of them have an advanced college degree. These are highly educated, very, very affluent readers. And they love and trust print.
They do.
and they know the difference between garbage and quality. So our content has to be top quality. It has to be interesting. We are very, very interested in reader feedback. We have a reader survey every year. We love comments from readership, and we really work hard to make sure that we have the best of the best out there to make sure that they keep on wanting to read our magazine and learning from us. So we deliver what you call digital content marketing. We deliver it through print, but we also have 5 digital platforms as well that come with the print product when people advertise with us. So we have a website that gets 15 million visitors a year. It's over 1 million visitors every month on our website. We have over 560,000 social media followers nationwide. We have a digital magazine. We have a blog site that we do deep dives into home style and home design, interior design, and really cool things for a luxury homeowner. We do an email newsletter that people can sign up to receive. We have all these things. We also have a very targeted digital program as well that we like to work with our existing clients to help them get a better ROI using our right place, right time technology.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And to think about where you guys are now, right? Like every brokerage you're in, you go to Palm Beach Island, every brokerage, Douglas Elliman, it's just there. Your magazines are present. You see them on the corners of Palm Beach. You see them in the houses, you shared with us that you started it from nothing. So can you talk about the beginnings, like the humble beginnings to where you guys are now, to having a great office space, to having the best of the best clients, and really such a successful magazine? Where did you come from? Where did this start?
Thank you so much. Thank you again. It was not easy. The game plan was to start this magazine and have it be really great. That was always the vision of where we are now, and we're not satisfied. We still want to get better and better. We were a year in March of 2020. And our first year anniversary was March 17th of 2020, and the country was shut down on March 16th of 2020. And we went from 80 paid pages to 16 paid pages overnight. And I'm a pretty tough cookie, and that one brought me to my knees and made me cry.
Wow.
And my husband said that night, just shut down the magazine. You don't need the headache. We're fine. Let it go. And I couldn't. I had 2 ladies that worked for me, and they had children, and they had mortgage payments, and that just was not an option for me. I was not going to leave them hanging.
No.
As much as I wanted to quit, I just couldn't do that to them. So we pushed off the magazine 3 weeks. We delayed with everyone's permission, of course, with our 16 advertisers' permission. Wow. And we went out and found more advertisers, and we decided to do some editorial features. Which is funny because none of us had any experience printing a magazine before producing a magazine, particularly doing editorial. So thank you to the first people that gave us the editorial. I look back in those issues and I kind of cringe at the editorial. I'm very proud of where we are now. But that was the beginning of where we are today, which is I'm very, very proud. We are trending to be 50% home style and 50% real estate for sale. And that's our goal. We want to be the source for our readers on all things luxury when it comes to their home, whether it's the interior of the home, the exterior of the home, the maintenance, the style, whatever it is, whatever the new latest trends are that are truly luxury, that's what we want to really focus on.
I would love to hear about success stories of your clients. Can you share any stories of like the magazine really just getting just a great return on investment for your clients? Anything you can remember?
Oh, yeah. This is the stuff that makes my heart soar. Realtors aren't always really wanting to share the success on a way that they're getting business because they don't want all the other realtors to jump in.
Very secretive.
Yeah, they're very secretive, and I get it.
Yeah.
But recently we had an agent who was super excited, joined the magazine, took a big leap of faith with us, and the agent was invited to list a $35 million home, which is going to sell. Really exciting, even in today's market, even in today's balanced market, big price point. But that was definitely from the magazine. And then another really cool story was the first year of COVID, because we do a lot of direct mail up north in the summertime. And in the beginning of COVID, when nobody was able to travel much, we just, pushed our direct mail, that April issue that was delayed 3 weeks. I pushed that up north as well. And they hadn't started coming down yet. We had 2 leads that came in off of that were huge. One of them is a very well-known hedge fund owner, and another one was a family office. And both of them ultimately brought their businesses down there, and the agents that got those leads have been really busy and very successful because those price points, I mean, the family office had bought 16 homes, and the other person, I can't even mention their name, was really big.
That's so exciting.
Huge.
So your clients have really been rewarded for working with you.
Yeah.
You mentioned a little bit earlier while we were setting up, you mentioned about you really care about the experience that your clients are getting. So can you share more about your, just like the integrity behind Luxury Home Magazine of the Palm Beaches?
Claudia, thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, that is, I think it stems from having been an agent that spent a lot of money on advertising. I understand how hard it is for the realtors. There's so many different businesses that are vying for their marketing dollar. And I remember how hard it was to keep writing those advertising checks. Excuse me. Those advertising checks when the market tanked, when I was selling real estate. It was hard. And, for us, our philosophy is respect for the agents and the fact that they work so hard for their commissions. It is such a tough job. I know it. I lived it. My team totally understands it because I share with them, how hard their job is. We are constantly in a mode of how can we help? What can we do to help you? And we will come right out there and just check in with them. How's business going? What can we do to help? What can we use with our platform to help you advance your business forward? And we don't want to be just seen as a print ad. That's not what we want. If we're seen as a print ad, we're down here in our success. If agents know they can lean on us and trust us and that we're going to help them, now we're here in our success journey with them. It's very, very important to us that our clients get maximum benefit, taking advantage of all the platforms. They pay for a print ad, but they get these digital platforms. So getting us those photos, getting us the videos, getting us that really cool content so we can push it out onto our digital platforms just doesn't cost them anything. They've already paid for the ad, and that just really helps them as well. So yeah, that's our heart is of service.
That's amazing. And what I think is really cool is not just as a franchise owner, right, and being a publisher, you've been a realtor. So how do you think being a luxury realtor, in your own life, have experienced it, how do you think you are able to serve your clients better because you know a little bit more than an average publisher?
It is a grueling job. It is a grueling job. Anyone who is a big agent and successful is devoting a minimum of 8 to 10 hours a day to their trade. And they are constantly working with clients, analyzing the market, looking at inventory. They are so hyper-focused on the success of their business, and to get some time with them, to get an audience with them is truly a gift that they are giving us. For a successful agent, their most precious resource is their time. And they only work with certain clients because those clients are committed to them. I get that. We want to be seen the exact same way to them. We only want to work with certain clients that are going to appreciate what we have and trust us. That way we can devote our time and energy to them. I hope I answered your question.
Absolutely. Okay. Right. So what I'm hearing you say is you really understand the value of their time because you've been there before.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? Yeah.
And we serve, very similar clientele, some of the same clients, and we know how valuable their time is. So when you are working with them, you guys really make sure that their time is really valued and they feel that their time is valued.
Yes. We come prepared. We want to be quick and brief.
Efficient. They love efficiency.
Efficiencies. And if they want to learn more, I can yak their ear off for hours or geek out and show them all kinds of stats and analytics, and if they want that. But sometimes they don't. Sometimes they do.
Your clients, when we're reading your magazine, we see that you really are working with the best of the best of realtors in South Florida. So my question to you is what separates your clients? Because you also work with them on top of just from a B2B, right? You also work with them, like you get to see what they're like. So what separates them from an average realtor? What makes them different?
I think I touched on that briefly before with the amount of time and energy they put into their business. Definitely the ethics is a great part of it. The agents, and particularly the longtime advertisers on our magazine, are really well respected in the marketplace as being the best realtors and being the most ethical realtors. And it's a tough business. When you are at the top as a realtor, people love to hate on you because they're jealous. Those people are usually the ones that aren't doing the business and don't put the time and the energy. But the other successful agents that are putting in that time and that energy and have that drive and that commitment to excellence and that ethics, they appreciate them. When I sold real estate before, I always called them my friendly competitors. And, when I would mentor young agents, or I would, when I was a broker and I was be bringing people up through, I'd say, you're going to do a deal with a client 2 or 3 times. If you're lucky, maybe 4 or 5 times. Another agent, a good agent, a successful agent, you want to do a deal with them 20 to 30 times. So how are you going to treat that other agent? Are you going to treat that other agent with, respect, integrity? Are you going to return that phone call right away? Are you going to give them the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Are you going to treat them the way you want to be treated? If you do that, you'll be immensely successful. And that is how the agents in our magazines, they cooperate really well. And yes, it's a very competitive environment. I get it. It's called life. Life is competitive. If you don't want to compete, find a different job.
Yeah.
But these folks are highly ethical. They're experts in their field. They devote tremendous amount of time, energy, attention. They share expertise with their clients. They're great fiduciaries for their clients. And I think that's really what comes down to the best is the agents that are in our magazines, they impart so much wisdom and knowledge to their clients to help them make a good decision in the real estate world. And it's an honor to work for them. It really is.
It is. I love to hear, I love to hear because we've witnessed it ourselves. We see like the commitment that they have to their profession.
Yeah.
And not just that, they really are so good at what they do.
Yeah.
They are good at what they do. It's not just the show, like it's not just the print that you see or the social media videos that you see. There really is, and people do get jealous, but there really is just a level of commitment that is very rare to find in this world.
Yes. Agreed.
Do you have any stories of clients that over the years that you would like to share? Anything that comes to mind?
Well, there's a lot we can't share.
Yeah.
Because everybody within the whole nationwide organization signs a non-disclosure and a confidentiality agreement. And we take that very seriously. So you'll never know who I'm talking to about what. We can't share and we won't share. But I will tell you, I was at a dinner party recently and with clients and was so humbled. I brought tears to my eyes. They went around the table and each shared their individual stories of how our magazine has helped them in their business and how much they appreciate me. And it was certainly not expected at all. I have to say, that might have been one of the highest compliments I could have ever asked for in this business is just the appreciation. So we know agents are getting business off of it, which is great. Mm-hmm. We know that our luxury business partners, which are not our realtors, but they are, our interior designers, our landscape people, the pool guy, all those companies, we know they're getting business off of it. We've lost a couple of them because they said we got so much business, we can't hire enough people to maintain the business we've had. So
fair enough. Yeah,
but
it's a good problem.
Yeah, it's a great problem for them to have, and I'm really happy that we were able to help them get there. So, yeah, it's been great. It's been a great journey.
And you've shared a lot about the coming up of Luxury Home Magazine, how you started really with nothing, right? But a vision, right? Mm-hmm. And then COVID happened and you lost all those advertisers and you were committed to the grind. You were committed to making it happen, to making sure that your team was taken care of. And you mentioned earlier how you're really happy with the progress that you made, especially with your editorial pieces, but you still have a vision for what's to come. So my question to you is, what is the future of Luxury Home Magazine in the Palm Beaches and what is to come? Oh,
great question. Thanks for asking. Well, definitely we want to see a 50% home style magazine, 50% real estate for sale. We got some great reader feedback. The response has been great since we've been leaning into it. So we're really working on that. So If anybody out here in podcast land has a great vendor they like to work with, let me know about them, because we'd certainly like to invite them to be part of what we're doing in an appropriate way for them. We also see a vision of growth. I have the ability to open 3 more markets, and so we are actively hiring for that. The markets are all very synergistically combined, and just really keeping this groundswell going, and always with a vision of how can we make a better product every issue. Every issue we take a look at what we did last issue and what can we learn from it, what can we do better. So yeah, doing that, also expanding our events. We're so thankful that COVID is a thing of the past. I am so thankful for that. So our cover release parties and supporting our luxury business advertisers with an evening in luxury at their place of business, and getting people networked, to have that passion of excellence, and then see a bunch of people in the room together that all share that passion of excellence and see the magic that happens is super cool. So
it's a very rare thing.
Well, hopefully it'll be more common.
But with the passion of excellence, right?
Yes.
To have people who really, really share that passion for really being excellent at what they do.
Yeah.
I think it's a beautiful thing.
I agree. Back at you. I mean, your work is amazing.
Thank you. We're excited for that cover to see it in all the homes, and see it everywhere.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Anne, for joining us today on Green Means Go.
Thanks for having me. It's been wonderful, Claudia.